Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at the Gerber Quadrant. It has a 7CR blade. It's got a fine edge, which is a nice way of saying plain edge. They like to say fine edge because it sounds better than plain edge. Plain is not a good marketing term apparently. It's a flipper. It has a frame lock. It is bamboo grip, which is for some reason represented by a little fist. It has a pocket clip. Yep. Whoop, the knife knocks up on the floor. Well, that's what it is. So yes, this is what the knife looks like. I happen to really like the overall size. I like the tip up carry, which is my preference. And I had a gift card, so it didn't really cost me anything. So I'm like, cool. Then I opened it up and discovered I really don't like this bamboo feeling. It's very smooth, and I don't think it brings anything into the fore. I think I would have preferred just some G10 that had a little more grip. But the worst part is I found that. And the problem is that loosening this pivot isn't going to help me, because the problem is that this frame lock is putting a huge amount of pressure on the blade. It is just unbelievably too strong. I mean, like, it is very difficult to close this knife. The frame lock is just putting too much pressure in that way, so it does not flip at all. However, it is rock solid, so if that's what you're looking for, cool. Now you can see this is a sheep's foot design, which is one of the things that attracted me, because I happen to be really fond of sheep's foot and Wharncliffe blade shapes. It's hollow grind. Don't like hollow grind, but I was willing to make an excuse for that if I may have overall liked the build. But this finish, and I don't know if my camera will be able to pick this up, it's an older camera, is very poor. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear and feel my fingernail riding across those grind lines, and that's just unconscionable as far as I'm concerned. That is just a very poor finish, and something that should never have left the factory. And the edge is not good. It's not a good edge. There is an edge, but it's not great. Not really sharp at all, and I was very disappointed with that. I also found that I don't like this flipper. Not only does the knife not flip because the liner lock is too tight, but this flipper, because it's very thin, your finger comes up like this, and it just feels very uncomfortable. It goes into your finger. I think they would have been better off coming off and making this more pyramid shape, or even just straight. If they just put a vertical here, just a vertical like that, it would have been more comfortable, and it wouldn't have changed the way you had to really stamp the blade at all. I mean, it was obviously a different stamp shape, but it would have been a superior. It's very uncomfortable against your finger, and I really didn't like that. And if you're, I don't know, I don't like it. If you want to do the reverse grip, I guess you can. While it's a small knife, I can get a full 4-finger grip on there, which is kind of nice. It is thin, which is nice. It has a open frame construction, very plain standoffs, nothing to write home about there. They didn't put any kind of style in that at all, which means open construction does mean that it's easier to keep clean, so that's always a bonus. Lockup is very strong. You're at 50% or maybe even a bit more on that lockup in there, and this frame lock is just too damn tight. It's very uncomfortable to push with my finger, and well, retention's really good as far as the blade, because it's just, you know, it's just way too tight, this frame lock. Now I could probably remove the clip and then get in there and bend the frame lock out a little so I had a little less, but I'd be afraid of breaking something, because the thin middle in here isn't all that thick. And I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But overall, the finish on this and the bamboo, which is not comfortable, I'm not putting this in my EDC. It's not going to become part of my everyday carry. So I'm disappointed. This should have been, in my opinion, should have been G10. It's more weather resistant. You get better traction on it, and it gives you far more color options. I'm not sure why they chose a piece of bamboo. I think it's a little too smooth. I just kind of has a cheap feel to it, and that's nothing against bamboo. You've seen bamboo many times, and I liked it, but in this particular knife, I don't like it. I don't think it brings anything to into the table stylistically or structurally, or as far as the comfort in your hand or its ability to, be able to get a grip on it when you want to pull it out of your pocket. As far as the pocket clip goes, it is also way too tight. Again, that's not a hard fix, but it is kind of tight. It is a competent clip in the sense that it's nice and thick, so you can get this over the the bulge of a pocket, which is nice. The roll at the top of the pocket, that the fabric usually doubled with stitching and such, so that's going to fit nicely over that. So that's good, but it is too strong. So overall, I am disappointed with the Quadrant. I'm glad I kind of didn't pay anything for it because I used a gift card I had. But yeah, disappointed in the Quadrant. I would have preferred a better overall design, better fit and finish, a liner lock, or rather frame lock that isn't so tight, and an edge that is superior. So, I've been on an kind of not really thrilled with Gerbers in the last couple of decades. I have some earlier Gerbers and they're really nice, but the latest versions I haven't liked a whole lot. And I don't chalk this up because, they're made in China. No, I don't. I get lots of knives out of China, and they're excellent knives that are high quality. It's got nothing to do with where it comes from, and it's got to do with the quality standards of the company itself. So, whoever's making these knives for Gerber is not producing knives of high quality. I don't blame it on China. I blame it on the place that the knives came out of. That's more important to me. So there you go. This has been my latest video on a Gerber Quadrant. I'm disappointed. I don't recommend this knife. And if any of you folks have had experiences with it that were superior, like you got one that isn't super tight, and you got one that you think is really cool, but it fits, maybe it just fits one of your needs very well, tell me in the comments below, because I'd like to hear it.